Hey there, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Welcome into another edition of Teach Me Tuesday. Today, I'm actually going to feature the Snowfall Accents puff paint, which is super fun. It's part of the Let It Snow suite in the holiday catalog, and it's so addictive. But there is some little tips and tricks that I can share with you today as we create a card featuring this stuff. So let me just get the cover on correctly, because I did learn this morning that you don't want to shake it with the cover not on it. Just FYI. Don't do that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually using the Feels Like Frost paper. If you guys haven't seen this, it's so pretty. It's like photographic paper, and then on the back side, it's sort of like silvers and stuff like that. So each, whoops, that doesn't belong in here. So each of them has sort of like a photographic element, and then some of them have, on the back side rather, then they have the silver stuff too. So it's really, really pretty. And I'm gonna start with this piece here. It's like little pussy willows, which I always loved as a kid. We had a bunch in my backyard, and my mom used to always use them in her flower arrangements because she was really good about being able to grow flowers and then create the most spectacular flower arrangements just using the stuff in her backyard. And she used to use this, and actually, I don't know if you guys remember the silver dollars. I don't know if that's the technical name of that plant, but that's what she used to always call them. And they looked like little white circles, but they were super thin. And she used to put those in her arrangements too. And they look like weeds in the yard, but they looked beautiful in her flower arrangements. So she was pretty talented at that. Let's go ahead and tie this little crumb cake ribbon around, crumb cake and white ribbon around this. And I'm going to tie it off to the left-hand side. This is the ribbon from the Magnolia Lane combo pack ribbon. It's really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to attach this down. This card is actually super simple. The focus really is on the puff paint, but I think you'll like it. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to tape this down. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my Memento black ink and the little, this to me looks like Pussy Willows. It's from the Frosted Foliage stamp set. So that's the stamp set that is in the Feels Like Frost bundle, which includes that paper that I showed you at the beginning of this video. And I'm just going to do a little bit here on the top, and then a little bit here on the bottom. And then I'm going to cover this, and we'll get this out of the way. I think I'm going to deviate just a tiny bit from what I did in the original, just because after I did the original, I felt like I needed to add one little thing to it. So we'll see if my intuition is good. I don't have crumb cake here, so we'll use Sahara. It's close enough. I'm going to take a little bit of Sahara, and before I do the puff paint, I'm going to go ahead and just distress the edges of this a little bit with some ink. So I'm just taking my Stampin' Sponge, which I cut into 6 little wedges, and then I'm just dipping that in the in the ink, and then dragging it around the edge. Okay, perfect. Exactly what I wanted to do. I'm actually, before I get too far into this, I'm actually going to take my Whisper White craft ink, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment first, because this Christmas white, this Whisper White does not dry instantly, so I want to give it a second to dry so I don't smear it later. So, whoop, oh geesh. So there you can see I'm using the You Warm My Heart from that same stamp set. I'm just going to set that aside for a second, like I said, so that can dry. All right, so now I'm going to bring out my puff paint, and I'm going to shake this. You want to give it a really good shake. It's super liquidy, even when it first comes out, so you want to be cognizant of that. You do have quite a bit of control once you let that first little blob come out, and then you can really have some good control because of the little tip of this. So I'm going to shake this off. Just be forewarned too, I hadn't used this in a while, and I put the cover on and it was super tight. It almost acts like glue, so you'll want to kind of take this stuff off before you put it away. So I'm going to clean this out with some hot water before I put this together for good. I just kind of put it on a little bit so that I wouldn't spread this all over the place. I did that this morning. I shook it, and I got it all down the front of my shirt. So what you want to do is when you first tip it over, it kind of just falls out, so you want to just be careful. I'm not even squeezing it, it just kind of falls out, but now it's not really falling out anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and use it on my project. And I don't fill, this stuff expands like crazy, so I'm not filling the whole thing. I'm just doing like little dabs, and the smaller the circle that I'm filling, the less I'm using. because like I said, it really expands once you heat set it. So the goal is you're going to drop it in here and you're going to, whoops, that's probably too much. You're going to heat set it after, so that will make this stuff expand, and then once it cools, it's good to go. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to do one at a time. So let's go ahead and grab my heat tool. Hopefully you'll still be able to hear me, but I'm just going to go ahead and heat this up. I'm using the highest setting we have. I'm hoping you can see this, so let me bring it a little bit closer. It's like magic when it happens, and it will, you basically want to get rid of all the liquid in it. So I'm hoping you'll be able to see the transfer, and I won't burn my fingers. You can start to see it a little bit here, right on those top ones. And I find, there it goes. Can you see that? They're like poofing up. There that one goes. It's so fun to watch. I'm going to turn it around so I don't burn my fingers. And we'll do these. I probably could have added a little bit more into those. They will expand, but those big ones. And it sometimes helps to kind of come out of the side a little bit. There we go. This one still has a little bit of liquid in it, so I'm going to make sure I fully get all the liquid out. And what's really cool is if any of them, like, it's not really doing it this time, but sometimes what happens is they start to kind of come out of their little circles, and you can actually, while it's still hot, you can still like manipulate them so that it won't, you can kind of like push them while they're hot so that it stays where you want it to be. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I see that blob that just came out, so I got that under control, and now I'm gonna do the bottom part here, and we'll fill these in. It's just such a fun look. Sometimes this, if you use another color besides the black, sometimes the color will run a little bit. So I wanted these to be surely to be pure white, so I used the black ink so it wouldn't transfer the color. But sometimes it looks really cool when it picks up the ink color if you want like slightly pink flowers, or you wanted to pull up a color from it. So just keep that in mind too. All right, so let's go ahead and do this one. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set this. Whoop. Sometimes it does blow it around, so just be careful to try and stay on top of it until the ink or the foam stuff starts to solidify, and then you can go to the side. Otherwise, if you start blowing on the side, it will, like you just saw, it starts to blow the puff paint across your paper. So start with it on top, and then you can kind of finish it off by going to the side and making it fully expand. See how that's expanding on the side? So we start on top, we get it to expand, and then we can go to the side here and just kind of get rid of any remaining liquids that are in there. Get it nice and poofy. You can actually re-poof, ow, that's really hot. You can re-poof the other side too, if it's getting a little smushy. Just keep in mind that this does kind of smush when you put anything on it. So once you mail this or put it in an envelope, it is going to kind of deflate a little bit, but I promise it still looks really cool. So don't worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to put tape on this side because I don't want to flip it over and smush it right now. I'm going to let it cool a little bit more, and then I'm going to stick this on top here like that. And then I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. Whoops. So I'm going to just put some of these on the back here. Again, I'm trying not to smush the back side, so I'm doing this in the air. And one here. Whoops. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to see if... Oh, I have mini ones here. I don't have a whole bunch of dimensionals on my desk. They're all kind of packed for class because I'm heading off to a double header for card class today. So by the time you get this, I will probably have already finished because I'm going to be running out the door as soon as I record this. And then it takes lately, my YouTube videos have been taking quite some time to upload. So I wanted to get it done this morning before I left so that it would have all day while I'm in class to upload. And then when I get home tonight, I will go ahead and shoot you guys off an email with this video. So if you're not on my email list, be sure to go to my By the Shore Stamping Facebook page. And if you hit sign up at the top, it will put you onto my email list and you'll get notification of my to-go classes, my in-person classes here on the Cape, and I also share some ideas and inspiration throughout the month as well. So I would love to have you join me. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to take this off. We're almost done, see? Quick and simple. I'm really letting the paper shine, and then of course this really fun puff paint is shining a little bit too in this one. Ooh, this guy is being ornery. Come on. There we go. Okay. The little skinny ones, the little mini ones tend to be a little more difficult to get off. All right, there you go. There you have it, the finished card, and I'll show you. I actually might like it plain white. So see on this one, I didn't ink the edges, but I thought it needed something, but I do actually think I like it better just plain white. It kind of brings out the really brightness of the paper. So, but both are cute. All right, I think that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. As always, if you liked this video, please be sure to click subscribe. That makes me so very happy. And of course, if you have any crafty friends that you think would enjoy them, please forward those along too. All right, thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye.